We're cutting to live pictures now from Srinagar, where last rites are being conducted for journalist Shujaat Bukhari, who was murdered brutally yesterday outside his office as he was heading home. The people of Srinagar paying tribute, his family, close friends, relatives, all they're part of that march that's taking the procession that's taking place for his last rites. These are pictures we're bringing you from Srinagar. It's a somber moment. It's a moment of mourning for the fraternity across the country. We're going to see a number of silent marches, candle marches taking place in different cities across this country. You can see from the sheer size of the crowd that's turned up here to pay tribute, to pay respect to Shujaat Bukhari, who was a well-known journalist. He was the editor of Rising Kashmir, whose last rites are now being conducted. The family is carrying his body for his procession. Let's go across to my colleague Pradeep Datta joining us on the phone line. Pradeep, this is a somber, he's live in fact, this is a somber moment, Pradeep, for the fraternity, for the state of Jammu and Kashmir, after this brutal killing that took place yesterday of this journalist who's extremely well regarded by people not just in Jammu and Kashmir but across the country.
See, this unfortunate, brutal killing of Shujaat Bukhari and his personal security officer, it has shaken journalistic fraternity not only in Jammu and Kashmir, but throughout country. In fact, he was the strong votary of peace and prosperity in Jammu and Kashmir. He was the first one, in fact, to welcome a unilateral ceasefire that was extended by Government of India here in the state of Jammu and Kashmir. I'm not, that's a matter of investigation who killed him. But one thing is quite clear, that why he was killed, because there are people who are not in favor of peace and prosperity in the state. That's why they wanted to silence his voice, because he was the first one who had tweeted in this regard, where he had welcomed this Government of India's decision to extend olive branch during the holy month of Ramzan. And right now the people are quite angry and agitated. They feel that why there's such a moderate voice, who was a seasoned journalist, who had been a part of track to diplomacy also, and had relationship across the country. In fact, he had been organizing so many workshops, have been part of the conferences and seminars. Why this man was targeted? Right now the CCTV footage grab has already been released by Jammu and Kashmir police. In this, you can see there are 3 people on motorcycle, and it clearly appears that they were well aware of the CCTV cameras installed in Press Colony area. That is one of the reasons that they are covering their faces. You can see one of them is covering the face with a helmet so that he is not recognized, and the other one is also covering his face, and third one has kept his face down. He's holding a bag in his hand. In that bag he was carrying with him assault rifle, and the same assault rifle was used to spray bullets on Shujaat Bukhari while he came out yesterday evening for the iftar party. From his office, and while he was going home, and that was the time they opened fire and killed him and his 2 personal security officers on spot. This clearly shows that there are people who don't want peace in that area, and they want that bloodshed and to continue. But now the best tribute that the Government of India can give to this brave journalist is that they should not get cowed down by these provocations. They should in fact extend a unilateral ceasefire, that in fact so that they can send a message loud and clear to each and everybody in Kashmir Valley that the Government of India in fact is for each and every person there in the region. And there are people who are not their well-wishers. They are the one who really want the bloodshed to be on streets of Kashmir Valley. So this is the message I think the Government of India needs to send. Right now, all I can say, the large number of people have already turned up at his native place, Creedy, where he belonged to, because Shujaat Bukhari is basically from North Kashmir area. He had been working. He started his career from submission. Then he was working with Kashmir Times organization. For some time, he was with Hindu, and then later on, he started his own newspaper, Rising Kashmir. And he was, in fact, one of the distinguished journalists. So people are quite agitated and angry. Everybody here is questioning that why he was targeted, why his voice was silenced, because he was speaking for the peace. That was his fault.
Right, and let's go, in fact, also across. Pradeep, stay with me. I've got Mir Farid joining us from Srinagar as well, joining us on the broadcast. Farid, this is, as I was saying, a very somber moment, a moment for us to reflect on the kind of situation, unfortunately, we've seen unfolding in the state of Jammu and Kashmir. A moment to really reflect on what's gone by and the legacy of this man who left us yesterday.
Yes, Viren, this has left everyone shell-shocked, the journalistic fraternity and generally, if you talk of the people here, you glance through any social networking site, be it Twitter, Facebook, they are pouring in their outrage, their shock and condemnation as far as this incident is concerned. Now, we do not know who has killed him. Obviously, everyone will point their fingers toward any militant outfit, but the fact of the matter is it will be a disservice to prejudge and to preempt as far as justice for this man is concerned. We'll have to wait and watch how the police investigation goes and what exactly, who are the people against whom they start the investigation and the finger points. As of now, the police has released two sketches, in fact two grabs of CCTV where the suspects are shown, three people on a motorbike. The police say that they have got some crucial leads on eyewitness account as well, and they are pretty much on the case. But it is an embarrassment for the J&K police as well, because this has happened in broad daylight in Srinagar, in which is considered to be a high security zone of Press Colony. These people came in, shot, in fact they were there for at least 2-3 minutes. They opened a volley of gunfire from two sides on the vehicle, ensured that there would remain no chance of anyone surviving, and then got on their motorbikes and escaped. So this is really something shocking. Has not happened for quite a while as far as Srinagar is concerned, but this is these are alarm bells ringing, and obviously there is a factor of terror as far as the journalistic fraternity is concerned. Everyone, as I said, are shell-shocked. They cannot believe what has happened, and they cannot believe this can happen in the Press Colony area. Last such incident that has happened in the Kashmir Valley was way back probably in 2001 and 2, when in the same area a journalist was killed. After that, there were no such attacks, but it seems once again these journalists and some people are back on the radar of these people who have attacked, and that's why these are worrisome times. But as far as Shujaat Bukhari is concerned, his final journey is underway. His funeral procession has been taken out in the Creary area, which is his hometown. A galaxy of politicians, local prominent people from the civil society have turned up. We've been told around 5,000 to 6,000 people are there to pay their last homage to Shujaat Bukhari, who was, as I said, not only a journalist but probably someone whom people of his area looked up to for any kind of public service or any suggestion or any work that they had in the government. So he was the person whom they approached. So in multiple ways, it's a loss for that area and for the journalistic fraternity here.
Loss all around, of course. Thanks, Fareed, for joining us. Let's go back to Pradeep, who's still standing by. Pradeep, we are seeing a galaxy of politicians, as Fareed was talking about, across party lines, people who don't necessarily agree with each other on their views on various issues, turning up to show solidarity with the family, to show and pay their respects to Shujaat himself.
Yes, in fact, the condolences are pouring in, and large number of people have already gathered here in the Creary area, which is the hometown of Shujaat Bukhari. As Fareed was saying, that because people of that area looked up to Shujaat Bukhari, he was not only a journalist, he was a kind of an activist also. Whenever they had any kind of a problem, they thought it was very easy for them to approach Shujaat Bukhari. His brother is also a minister in Mahbub Mufti government. It was at times through him also they used to meet several people in the civil secretariat to get their small work done, because normally people of the area look for the developmental work. So Shujaat Bukhari was that way very helpful person. So, but what is in fact really shocking is that this man had always been in fact trying to promote peace. He was talking about reconciliation. He was a part of several groups that had been in fact working for the reconciliation and peace in the region. So the question arises, why someone really felt threatened because of his reconciliatory mood, because the language of peace and development which he was talking about. So that is the question. As Fareed said, that that's what I had been saying from the very beginning. Who killed Shujaat Bukhari? That is a matter of investigation. The police is already looking